Здравствуйте, мои дорогие зрители, мы с вами продолжаем проходить Redguard. Ну что, на чем мы остановились в прошлой серии? Ну, на том мы, наверное, и закончим эту. Будет беготня, короче. Вот. Нужно расспросить еще... Так, еще. Получается, 4 человек. Одного мы нашли с вами вчера. Это у нас замечательный этот дедок со змеей. Но что-то он не хочет разговаривать с нами. Нам нужно найти что? Первое, это колокольня. Какая-то колокольня. Я не знаю, какая колокольня, где эта колокольня. Потом. Что еще? Башня гавани и обсерватория. Башня гавани. Ну... Может быть... Вот эти башни? Это вряд ли, конечно, но... Все же попробовать стоит, я думаю. Ох, как что-то подлагивает игра. Так, войти в башню гавани. Вот она. Мы мимо нее все бегали. Я думал, что за башня? Ну ладно, нашли. Так, и с кем-то тут надо поговорить. Но я фиг его знает с кем. Где он? Наверху на самом, может быть. Выйти из башни гавани. Ну там типа вот этот мостик такой будет. Возможно, внизу там кто-то был. Ну, сейчас проверим все комнаты. Какие можно проверить. Возможно, кто-нибудь тут сейчас сидит. Возможно, не знаю. Посмотрим сейчас. Так. Вот, я вижу чьи-то ноги уже, но, блин. Вот чубрик какой-то. Говорить с человеком.
Sir, could I speak to you for a moment?
Who's there? What do you want?
My name is Cyrus. I'd like to ask you a few questions if you don't mind.
Mind? Why would I mind? I'm Purnell, by the way. Ask away, my boy.
Прнел. Да, это именно он. Изара.
Do you know my sister? Izara.
Izara? And you're Cyrus, her brother? Of course. Probably look just like her, too. Would have seen the family resemblance. But without my eyepiece, I'm afraid I can't get too good a look at you. You know, I haven't seen Izara around in quite some time.
Так, Лига не знающих покоя.
Have you heard of a group called the Restless League? My ship was attacked by a couple of them on the way here.
That was you? I saw the whole thing through my telescope, you know. Not much of a battle, though. Ha! You really gave those ruffians what for? Wait a minute. Maybe the Restless League is after you, too. I wonder what Izara could have done to get them so riled up.
Two? Do you mean the Restless League is after my sister? Why didn't you say so before?
You never said she was missing, Cyrus. This was months ago anyway, and my memory ain't what it used to be. As I was saying, a couple of them boys came around asking about her, but not respectful like you. Gave me the hairy eyeball, trying to scare an old man. Don't believe anyone has the right to talk to me like that. No wonder they have such a bad reputation.
С тросом Кай. Давайте все, наверное, у него расспросим.
I got nothing to tell that you can't hear from anyone in town. This was the heart of Crown resistance, but look at it now. When you lock up or murder every Crown or League supporter, it don't leave much.
Так, сторожевая башня. Выяснение Лиги, репутация Лиги. Окуляр, до свидания. Давайте, сторожевая башня.
What are you watching for up there?
Ships, Sonny. I'll let the town know when a merchant ship is coming into port. Reminds me of my seafaring days a bit, watching out from the crow's nest. But now I'm stuck with this job.
How come?
'Cause ships are about the only thing I can see. I lost my eyepiece around here somewhere, and the spyglass here's no right alternative.
Так, выяснение лиги.
What did these Restless League fellows want to know?
Just if I'd seen Izarу, let them know if I ever did. Ha! Like I'd tell them anything after they come in here all threatening like. Seem to think she'd stolen something from them. If that's true, no wonder she's disappeared. Either they found her, or she's making sure they don't.
Так, связаться с лигой.
I thought the Restless League was outlawed. How would you contact them?
You'll find out soon enough. The smuggler's den is hooked up with the League somehow. Not directly, or it'd be out of business by now with Fat Boy on a rampage, but I'm sure they could still get in touch with the League.
Логово контрабандиста. Дофига чего у нас теперь добавилось.
Where is the smuggler's den?
Under Maiko's shop, but it ain't that simple. No one gets in without a password.
Без пароля никто туда не попадет. Это где? Под магазином. Это тот, который мы нашли, этот, картографа? Или нет? Так, пароль.
Do you know the password?
Afraid not, Cyrus.
What kind of reputation does the League have?
Terrorists, pirates, all that. No doubt about it. They ain't to be trifled with. Fat Boy found that out himself. But then the Empire don't like to be messed with either.
Империя. Жирный какой-то.
The League is fighting against the Imperial occupation?
They were. Not openly like the Crowns, but that's never been the League's way. Blowing up Richton's flagship more in their line. Watched it burn from right here. An amazing sight. But what did it accomplish? The Empire's still here, and I haven't heard hide nor hair of the League until today.
Жирный, что за жирный?
Fat Boy, who do you mean?
Right, you're new in town. Haven't yet been introduced to Governor Rickton.
Так, окуляр.
So you can't see without your eyepiece?
I can see the galleons and spice traders just fine with this spyglass. But other than that, I mean, I can't very well walk around town holding a telescope up to my eye.
It might be kind of funny, though.
I'm laughing even as we speak. Could you maybe find it for me, lad? It's a strange kind of loneliness when the beginnings of your vision's at 100 yards.
I'll find it for you, Purnell. Don't worry. Don't worry.
Так, окуляр.
Thanks, Purnell.
Можно найти окуляры, но и он нам что-нибудь еще расскажет. Так, у нас что-то тут записывается постоянно. Я периодически это даже не смотрю. Надо вот будет поглядывать. Что же там записывается у нас? Так, это на какую? На, вот. Так, говорится, что вошел в контакт Лигой через логово контрабандиста, который находится под магазином Майко. Ну, туда войти я нуждаюсь в пароле. Это все, что нам, получается, удалось узнать. Ясно. Так, ну отлично. Теперь нам осталось всего лишь троих, да? Да, троих. Обсерваторию найти какую-то и колокольню. Ну, это, видимо, что-то крупные, наверное, какие-нибудь здания, по-любому. Они должны быть крупными. Не будет же обсерватория какая-нибудь прям вообще мелкая. А что у него? сундук. Может быть, что-нибудь в сундуке? Я могу же, да, использовать? Открыть сундук, да.
What's this?
Подберите золото. О,
This should help.
53 золотых. Это хорошо. Что ж ты застрял? Что это было, вообще непонятно. Так, обсерватория. Где ее, блин, искать? О, колокольню вижу. Вижу колокольню. Где-то тут. Во. Чуть не очень большая колокольня. Блин, не застрять бы еще тут нафиг. Подожди, это колокольня? Мы же тут, по-моему, были уже.
Favis, my friend.
You're Cyrus, aren't you? I thought so.
Да, я тут был.
My ship was attacked by 2 members of the Restless League just off Stros Mackay. What can you tell me about them?
Not much. Fire-eating Redguard nationalists? More even than most crowns could stomach. But they've kept quiet since the
Вот
old
тогда
quarter
его
was burned.
зачеркнуть.
I wonder why they decided to attack your ship.
Тут, оказывается, я уже был, блин.
Stros Mackay was a crown stronghold, wasn't it?
It was the seat of power for the crowns. Ator led the crowns from here after Thasad's death. We've suffered greatly for it since young Prince Ator died. Took all hope out of the crown, but not all the fight.
Not all?
No, the battle in the old quarter did that.
Так, Лига напала на мой корабль. Принц Атор
What
какой-то.
happened to Prince Ator?
Died in battle, like a Redguard hero of old. I've heard tales that he ain't dead, but that's all rubbish.
Really?
I spoke with sailors from the Garamar, second in line of battle behind Ator's flagship. They saw him on deck just as the dragon lit up his ship like a festival bonfire. Weren't any survivors from the flagship? Not a one.
Тассад какой-то.
King Thasad's death was inconvenient for many, but I've never heard tell of foul play.
Nor I. The forebears preferred Thasad to his son Ator, a known League sympathizer. Thasad had no patience for the League himself. Called them terrorists. Maybe true, but they've shown more sense than the crowns through this whole bloody mess.
Предки какие-то.
I expected to see Stros Mackay full of forebears after their victory.
Hardly a forebear victory. It was imperial might that defeated the crowns, laddie. Make no mistake about that. The four show few that Rickon brought with him mostly stay up in the palace or drink themselves to stupor. You might run into them at the Dragon Tail, looking for trouble, so you'll want to be careful.
Лига напала на мой корабль.
I don't know. How long has it been since their last attack?
Must have been a month or two at least. Their last big success was blowing up Rickon's flagship right here in the harbor. A pity in a way. Whatever else you say about the Imperials, they make beautiful ships. With that little Cape Acosta League plenty. Afterwards, Rickon rounded up anyone who'd ever spoken to a Leaguesman. I was starting to think he had crushed them completely.
Так, колокол.
You're in charge of this bell tower?
Don't wanna be, but I'm stuck with it. Dan Purnell's fault leaves me stuck here while he sits up in the cool breeze and watches Hunden Bay roll by. Does he think I'd like to wave the flag once in a while? Stubborn as a mule he is, and ungrateful to boot.
Purnell, a friend of yours?
Friend? Ha! Blind as a bat he is, but will he ever let me wave the flag? No! Too stuffy down there, he says. You fall off the chair, he says. Always southern cute. Now he's gone and broken the bell. Don't know why I put up with it.
Флажок.
I'm not sure I follow you. What flag do you mean?
We're supposed to trade off. One of us watches for ships, waves the flag when he sees one, then the other rings the bell to let people know. But he never lets me take my turn in the watchtower. Doesn't care about my feelings, not at all. Always about what Purnell wants. Huh.
Сломанный колокол.
The bell doesn't look broken.
Well, not broken exactly, but I'm sure it doesn't ring as loud as it used to. But Purnell wouldn't let me have Lakin look at it, would he? Insisted on doing it himself. Typical. Took him half the day, then had the nerve to tell me there's nothing wrong with it.
Лейкин.
I'm not sure if I've met Lakin.
Me neither. Now that Lakin, on the other hand, handiest young fellow I ever met, can fix anything. Hey, you look like a handy sort yourself. Maybe you could take a look at it for me.
Так, чё, я не успел прочитать.
Sure, I'd be happy to.
Good lad.
И всё?
Thought you said you were gonna fix my bell.
Починить колокол.
Don't touch that bell rope unless you want to be remembered as the cowardly villain who murdered a kind and beautiful old man just so he could play the fool with that good man's bell.
И как это сделать? Странно. Как я должен починить его? Еще дополнительные какие-то квесты. Так, погодь. Ничего я тут должен сделать? Фиг его, блин, знает. Так, а тут что? Ничего. Ну вот этот чубрик, как его, блин, поговорить с ним? Оп. Не то. Застрял, блин.
He looks a little preoccupied.
Сшибись насквозь, вижу его.
He looks a little preoccupied.
Как его... Это... Что делать надо, я фиг его знаю. Может, что-то в настройках как-то? Я такого что-то не помню. Применить. Смотреть Alt. Прыжок, идти. Предметы, карта, дневник, меч, здоровье. Осмотреть Alt. И чё? Нажимаю. И правый, и левый Alt. Ничего не происходит.
He looks a little preoccupied.
Как... Чё делать? Как-то до него докопаться надо. Непонятно. Коснитесь его. Ну я коснулся. Ничего не происходит.
He looks a little preoccupied.
Что за фигня, блин? Непонятно.
He looks a little preoccupied.
Фигня какая-то. Непонятно. Ладно, разберемся с ним потом. Обсерватория, где может быть? Неясно. Может, он там? Что это за здание? Так. Что там было написано? Пойти в жилье. Нет, тут по-любому не тут. Где-то очень большое должно быть здание. Нифига непонятно, что делать. Где, чё, куда идти? Хрен поймешь, блин. Это что за здание? Закрыто. Где искать эту обсерваторию, я хрен его знает. Это замок. Там тюрячка. Фиг поймешь. Обсерватория не будет же рядом с тюрячкой. Бред полный. Откройте дверь. Так, ладно. А вот тут что за башня? Черт. Слетел нафиг. Походу в каждый дом надо подтыркаться. Что-то. Естественно, закрыто.
Excuse me. Can I help you?
It's locked.
Так.
Redguard!
Lakeen?
What's going, Redguard?
Так, это с этим... О, пароль.
Do you know the password to the smuggler's den?
I don't know what you're talking about.
Налоговый контрабандистов.
What do you know about the smuggler's den?
I've never been there.
Врет.
What do you know about the Restless League?
Nothing. Who said that I did?
Врет, врет,
And what does
врет.
Stros Mackay hold for you?
I'm what everyone likes to refer to as Mr. Fix-It. I'm cursed by it, actually. Oh, and by the way, if you see a man named Triffic, tell him I'll get to his boat when I have time.
If I see the fellow, I'll tell him.
And as for what keeps me in Stros Mackay with the Empire and Rickton and all, well, I've lived here a long time, got friends and roots here. And Stros Mackay has deep roots, ancient history. And there's the real mystery.
Лодка Тритика это. Мы с ним разговаривали. О, сейчас я не вспомню нифига. Тритик. Да, есть такой.
What's wrong with Trithic's boat?
Not sure, really. I think he's had some vandals at night.
Тайна
The
какая-то.
real mystery? Huh, I've heard too many already.
The ruins. In the mountains. Dwarves, sailor, long dead. An ancient technological treasure trove. Empires searching the world for such knowledge. They may have found it here.
А, руины города карликов.
What does the Empire hope to find there?
Power. Before you know it, we'll have steam-driven carriages and flying machines. Whole empire's interested in them dwarves for some reason. Sure. Prince of Tor, Arcade, bless his soul, might have said they were dangerous and we should leave dead civilizations be, but hell, man, there's progress to be made.
Тысячи машины.
Flying machines, are you okay?
You just wait. Those dwarves made up for their lack of magic in other ways. Magic is the crutch of the world. Why build a better bridge when a mage can teleport you to the other side? Things have been the same for thousands of years, and it's gonna end soon.
Так, паровые катерки, вагонетки.
Steam-driven carriages, huh?
That's right. Dwarves knew how to use the steam. You may laugh, but it's a powerful force, and Rickard's got his boys looking at it right now. Empire may have what they need to conquer all of Tamriel sooner than you think.
Понятно, больше ничего не
We'll talk
скажет.
later.
Ну, уже что-то новенькое. Так, найти бы обсерваторию. Так я понятия не имею, где она может быть. Так. О. Может быть, что-нибудь здесь?
Yes?
Ну, это колония. Нифига там ничего нету. Фиг поймешь, где тут чё.
Hello there.
Сейчас вспомню, что за тритик такой. Кто это вообще? Я не помню такого, нифига.
It's locked.
Ну, конечно. А вот это что за здание? Гильдия магов. Может, на этого чубрика надавить? Что-нибудь расскажет? Вряд ли, но все же.
Speak up, I've got work to do.
Hello, Maiko.
Hello, Cyrus. Something I can do for you?
Лига карты. Лого
I've heard
контрабандистов.
tell that your basement is used as a smuggler's den.
Really? How about that? I rent the downstairs to some local lads. They're quiet, always pay up on time. I can't imagine they're up to anything illegal.
Местные парни.
These local lads, do they have names?
They never said. Perhaps you should run downstairs and ask him yourself.
Так, карты.
What do your maps tell you?
Maps are like people. Did you know that, Cyrus? There are good maps, bad maps, indifferent maps. You shouldn't trust most maps. They'll lead you astray if you give them a chance. An honest map is rarer than a true friend. Remember that, young sir.
Лига.
I wonder if you've heard of this restless league.
The alliance between Daggerfall, Wayrest, and Balfiera against the Cyrodiils during the First Era? No, that was the League of Unrest. No, sorry, I'm just not familiar with it.
С тросом Кай.
What are people talking about around town these days?
Damning the governor's eyes, mainly. I try not to get involved in all those troubles. I've seen more than enough suffering in my life. I just want to spend my last days working with my maps.
Губернатор.
Is life under the imperial governor so harsh?
Кстати,
Said I
к
didn't
нему
want to
как
speak of
попасть?
such things.
Можно как-то же, да, попасть? Или нет? Так, все, да?
We'll talk later.
Все, возможно, стоит нам в таверне расспрашивать кого-нибудь. Вполне, да, может быть, там пинчуги какие-нибудь, да что-нибудь слышали по-любому. Но мне охота найти обсерваторию. А я тут все уже избегал. И ничего не могу найти. Что тут может Ой. Так. А, я сюда заходил. Обсерватория. Фиг поймешь, где она. А,
Yeah?
понял. Нет.
I need to ask you a few questions. What makes you think I want to answer them?
Логу контрабандиста.
Do you know anything about the smuggler's den under the cartographer's shop?
Maybe I've heard of it.
Yeah, I've seen some guys hanging around there, supposedly in the Restless League. But it's all talk. They never do anything. You can't get in there without a password anyway, so you may as well forget about it.
What do you know of the Restless League?
Bunch of idiots, if you ask me. You can't fight the Empire. They'll learn, though.
How are things in town with the Imperials in charge?
What do I look like? The town crier? Same old as far as Rolo's concerned. Politics is for suckers. I got a sweet deal with Garrick. No need for me to worry about who's sitting in the palace.
Герик.
What sort of deal do you have with Garrick?
You know, that fool elf that runs the trading post pays me a silver penny for each crate I bring up from the docks. No lie! And I only have to go down when the bell rings. Means the ship's arrived. Yup, Roro knows a good thing when he sees it.
I don't suppose you've ever been in the palace.
No, could have got a job to go up there, but Katara wasn't offering enough. Let some other sucker trek all the way out to Nagaspas.
Колокол.
Bell?
Jeez, you are as dumb as you look. The bell, in the bell tower, right outside.
Of course, how stupid of me.
Так. Котаро.
Katara, who's that?
The Laborers Guild guy, down in the harbor, that's who. Hires deadbeats like yourself for peanuts. You should look him up. Looks like you could do the
Мы с ним
job.
разговаривали. Больше. Спасибо.
Yes, maybe I will.
Good. Close the door on your way out.
Работа Котаро.
You said Katara had a job for someone to go up to the palace.
That's what he said. Something to do with that creepy old necromancer. Why don't you go ask him about it and quit bothering me?
Чернокнижник. Некромант.
Necromancer?
Yeah, Nagasta. Don't tell me you never even heard of him.
Энгаста.
Tell me about this Nagasta.
Didn't I tell you to buzz off? He's some sort of necromancer, lives outside of town.
Большой
in a big
башни.
tower.
За городом. О, может быть это и есть обсерватория?
Don't let the door hit you
За
on the
городом.
way out.
А я ее ищу, эту, блин, обсерваторию в городе, блин. Она, оказывается, за городом находится. Ну, ладно, как теперь выйти отсюда? И куда идти, в какую вообще сторону? Была полезная информация. За городом в башне. Здесь вряд ли что туда, тут только... И все, идут не пройти. Наверное, с той стороны только можно. Ух, черт. Как теперь подняться? А, блин, это проблема. Блин. Как теперь подняться? Капец. Ё-моё. Я тут, походу, застрял. Там еще и акулы плавают. Зашибись. Я тут, походу, надолго теперь плавать буду. Ну что получится? Забраться. Давай, 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 давай. Прыгай, черт тебя дери. Ну вон, я вижу, вот. Фух. Я думал, что все. Может быть, она что-нибудь расскажет новенькое.
Excuse me.
Excuse me, Mariah.
What can I do for you?
А. Все, вот пароль.
You wouldn't happen to know the password to the den, would you?
Oh no, I stay far away from that sort of trouble.
Дворец.
Any idea how I can get into the palace?
Richton doesn't take to uninvited guests, and there's no way to sneak in that I've heard of.
Лига.
What do you know about this Restless League group?
They scare me, frankly. They've been around since the days of Facade, and no one seems to know much about them. They seem to remain as quiet as possible. Not like your usual pirates. There's something else to them.
Thanks, Mariah.
О, я мог про картографа расспросить. Ну ладно. Может быть, как-нибудь позже. Короче, сейчас стоит, наверное, пройти все-таки в таверну и поболтать
Redguard. What about...
с кем-нибудь. Возможно, тот пьяница знает что-нибудь. Ну, вряд ли.
Excuse me.
Hey, looky there, Goo. A crown come out of hiding.
That's so, hey, Crown. Be good and bring us another round, eh?
I hear you crowns think you're real brave dagger lads. Want to test yourself against a real swordsman?
I'm sick of chit-chat, little Crown boy. Pull that blade out if you know how, or leave me alone.
Вызов на бой. Ну, давай подеремся.
Stand and draw then, gentlemen.
Take him, boys.
Опа. Как драться?
Gentlemen,
Blow for that.
take it outside, please.
Rain no further blows.
А, мы его победили.
Bleeding. We just cleaned the place.
Keep away from me, lad. Spill my ale, and you'll regret it.
Чё делать? Это какая-то боевка топорная слишком.
Come on, Cyrus. More blood.
You pay for
Quick
it.
with it. Slice him good. Best right now.
Как тут драться вообще?
Wake up, lad. Get moving. Fast strike.
Same old rules, boys. No face, no
Bit out
groin.
of shape, are we?
И все? Это вся боевка? Странная боевка.
Why don't you fellas keep it down?
Relieve your breathing, care.
Чего еще?
Mine now.
Getting
Does
old and
belly.
slow,
People
mate.
anything else to do.
You Crown scum, prevent me.
Cyrus!
Ау. А почему по нам урон не проходит, кстати?
Cyrus.
No, he's unarmed.
Care.
Фигня какая-то.
Clean the place.
Keep away from me, lad. Spill my ale, and you'll regret it. Get quick!
Break it. You pay for it.
Come on, Cyrus. Stop playing with him. Get quick! Kill him! My
Same old
weapon's
rules,
long.
boys.
Strike
No
no
face,
more.
no groin, no blood on the furnishing.
Так, ну если я сейчас с ним еще раз поговорю, по-любому драк опять будет.
Cyrus,
Say, laddie.
can I help you?
How are you, Drickies?
The Redguard. Good. Good to see you again.
Таверна, логово ссора, логово
Drickies,
контрабандистов.
you mentioned taking part in some smuggling operations.
Minor stuff is all, and mostly nil, now that the governor's men are keeping such tabs on me.
What can you tell me about the smuggler's den?
It's run by some upright from the north, a quick-to-anger sort, and he only talks to members of the den.
Ссора.
Sorry about the swordplay.
Keep it just play, and I'll not mind if it even happen again. The forebears have their troubles, so it's no surprise they come here looking to share them.
It was good practice.
Practice as often as you like, save for the death blow. And mind the furniture, please.
Таверна.
Welcome to the Dragon Tail, by the way, thesis-bound subsistence of mine.
Пароль не хочет
Well,
рассказывать.
there
Да
is
внюк.
good
Ой,
ear and
пароль
ale
мне, пароль.
co-equal. What can I do for you?
A drink might be nice. I'll use your ears later, maybe.
Ever ready to listen, soft skin? Let adventure thine be mine. I'll share what thoughts I can.
Так, существование основано... Так, существование основанное на существующих положениях.
What are you talking about?
This tavern, of course, both site and subsidy of my studies, as well as a fine storehouse of spirit.
Набеги, изучение. Это я спрашивал. Набеги.
I myself was a victim of these raids.
More obstacle, I'd suspect, than victim. The raids had ended, it seemed, but your mischance may be token of renewed troubles the sailors speak of. The League is marshalling anew its forces, or so the rumor goes.
Some second battle of Strosmakai?
True, it sounds unlikely, but they are dagger lads, the Restless League, and they vow to make war again.
Что за изучение?
What's your subject of study?
The other, of course, those ones not skinned in scale. We see that Septim's tribes will not be long satisfied with the thrones of men and the elder race. One day they will come to Black Marsh. Argonians have lost land once before, when we did not know our enemy.
I see, and what better place to learn the wants of men than at the bar?
There are other places, universities, the military, the magical guild, but I aim to chart man's geography of desire, which is most readily charted when he is drunk and blathering.
Понятно, больше ничего.
I'd better keep moving. Can we talk later?
Anytime, anytime.
Так, ну тогда и его расспрашиваем.
Cyrus, what have you heard?
I need to ask you about something.
Лига, Стросункай, логово контрабандистов.
Captain, what do you know about the smuggler's den?
Knaves that aren't worth my cargo. You should forget about them.
I see.
Гражданская
Do
война.
you think Izarу chose sides in the Civil War, and that is why she has disappeared?
Your family's always been partisan, lad, since your early days in Sentinel. I ventured she still held her old allegiances, even if you haven't. Few crowns in Strosmakai survived the battle with the Imperials, but I know Izarу was one of them.
How?
Hearing of the defeat of the crowns caused me much concern. When I arrived, I searched for word of Izaru's safety. The only ones here who knew of her said that she had disappeared shortly after the Imperials landed.
I see the harbor is already arrayed in the flags of the Emperor.
and that his men walk the streets as if born to them.
Strosmakai's a dangerous port these days. There's an empire to be built, you know, and Tiber Septim shows no sign of slowing its increase from here to the edge of the world map. High Rock's border kings bent knee to the Cyrodiil long ago. Even my father's fair Skyrim is adorned with flags of red dragons and foreign men. We are entering a new era, I fear, with Septim's name written long and wide upon it.
Так, как бы Септим.
Any kind words for our new emperor?
He is good at what he does, and sees the holes lesser men leave wide. No offense to your Prince Ator, of course.
Hammerfell's problems are her own. I was only asking if Septim was the tyrant they say.
Of course he is. Tyranny means never having to say you're sorry. But Izaru's fate has nothing to do with the Emperor, I'm sure. Look to the Provisional Governor if you suspect Imperial entanglements. He's the real tyrant around here. How long were you in Wayrest, Cyrus?
Long enough to piss off the locals.
A bay ride from Sentinel. Close enough for you to hear about Prince Ator, then.
Yes, of late the criers are tripping over each other. There's so much to report of the blisteries out.
And you've listened to it all, I'm sure.
Fine, recount all word of Prince Ator that I have shamefully ignored.
When his father died and the capital of Sentinel was taken over by the Forebears, the prince fled back here to his ancestral home of Strosmakai. After rallying the crowns to his stead, he made for the throne again and had it near. That's when the Empire came. Through a forebear truce which no one expected. Again the prince was forced back to Strosmakai, which he died defending. He will not long be forgotten. Lizard, another drink?
Так, перемирие предков, Циродил, небосвод, сражение.
What were the terms of the forebear truce?
Сейчас по-любому еще что-нибудь будет новое. Нужно спросить.
In return for a swath of holding titles along the southeast border. But when Baron Volag disappeared during the arse end of the war, all bets were off. A new treaty was formed, which garrisoned those imperial armies in the cities.
Until such a time as the native rulership can see fit to reinstate itself safely on its rightful throne.
Something like that, yes, sir.
Так.
Septim's no Cyrodiil from what I've heard, though he ruled their remnants and rebuilt their empire. He's something worse or greater, depending on your disposition to the center, son.
If he has no blood tied to the Cyrodiil throne, then how did he make it his?
Come on! For the last 400 years, the petty kings of Cyrodiil have been squabbling over the title of Emperor, all claiming forebearance. Imperial throne's blood's thinner than a sea dream and half as wet. Tiber Septim took the throne as he took your people's.
Hail the new conqueror.
There's a good little subject.
Мелкие короли Сиродила, может.
You used to hire out to those petty kings, did you not?
20 years ago, maybe, when the whole heart of Tamriel was in chaos. I can admire Tiber Septim insofar that he has managed to consolidate the rags and tatters that bickered there then.
No empire is a good thing, Captain.
There's a Redguard for you.
Так, ладно. Да, расспрашиваем его, и надо будет найти...
They do not worry over much.
Что найти? Я забыл. Обсерваторию.
And this conquest will be no different.
Обсерваторию мы только его не расспрашивали.
And by comparison, Skyrim's occupation seemed like a ballet.
Сражение.
Do you know if Izarу fought in the Battle of Strosmakai?
My investigations were limited, I'll admit. If she fought, I can't say. But I would guess that she did. The battle was the penultra of the crowns, and all who subscribed to the name no doubt took up arms. While most of them were slain at sea, others have been taken prisoner by the governor.
Временный губернатор взят под стражу.
Tell me about the provisional governor, Captain.
When I arrived, his soldiers showed me the finer points of Richton's new docking tax and scoured my ship for leaguesmen. I must say he's a bit of an asshole. You'd better watch yourself around him.
So why aren't you in jail?
Meaning why aren't said soldiers in little boxes at the foot of the palace gate? Because I didn't come to port to get myself in trouble, but to get your sister out.
Should I look into seeing this governor then?
That's where I'd look, laddie.
Так, взят под стражу.
Should she be in jail?
I haven't exactly knocked on
Опа.
the door to
На
find out.
английском.
That's your job now. But I know the jail's off limits to
А
non-imperial.
вот это русификатор
Now,
уже не
read,
перевели.
No visitors whatsoever.
Понятно.
We'll see about that.
Так, ну и империя осталась.
Imperial expansion has been feared for years. Why wasn't Hammerfell better prepared?
Factional squabbles, divided councils, miscalculations. Crowns lost heart when they lost the capital. Forebears lost their heads completely when they welcomed the Empire's friendship and aid.
So the Empire played the forebears pretty well, eh?
What else is a visionary with an open invitation to do? The forebears are having futile second thoughts now, no doubt. Probably why they're so bitter and driven to bar brawls.
О, страж часовой.
How is the city of Sentinel? I never returned.
For long my men plied the Iliac, and Sentinel was along the run. That's how I came to know that Izara moved from there to here. I kept up with her for your sake. If even it were a dream to think anything would come of it. When Volag's purge ignited through the north, I went there seeking to help her. But she was already gone. Later, I learned she'd come to Stros Mackay.
Так. Чтение Волага, короны, предки короны.
What of the crowns?
Not too many left around here. The few that are don't admit it to just anyone. Talk to Siona, a friend of mine. You may have seen her down by the docks. Tell her I sent you, so she'll know you're no Imperial stoolie.
С моей
She may be
подругой
able to help you.
Сионой, ага. С которым мы разговаривали, она в доках.
Septim's rule.
The throne of Sentinel is kept warm by another Imperial governor. That should be indication enough.
Так, очищение Вогала.
What was Volag's purge?
When Thasad died, Baron Volag led the forebears into an uprising for control of the capital. All crowns were forced to leave Sentinel after that first massacre. Your sister was among those that followed the prince here to Stros Mackay to plan the counterattack. I swear, Cyrus, are you always such a lame brain when it comes to word of recent Hammerfell?
I've come to cultivate a certain indifference about the homeland.
And this is a good thing?
So his character is in question. Again.
She was your sister, Cyrus.
I was probably miles away.
A proximity often and on purpose, I'd suspect. Yeah, well, you're here now.
Капец. Барон Волаг, Тассад. Капец, сколько тут диалогов.
Assad II, so storied in song. It was unwise to invest the Republic on one man.
The forebears are over there, Cyrus, if you want the company to match the sentiment.
No, it's just... I mean, he was dying when I was still a young kid. We Redguards were only waiting for it to happen. My father kept his profession in one hand and a whetstone in the other. We knew that civil war would come. If Assad was so great, Why didn't he do more in his life to protect the kingdom after his death?
Some things have to be left for the son.
Так, осталось барон Волаг.
The head of the forebears is a subject of the Empire now.
Or subject to the Empire's execution from spake of it. He disappeared the day Stros Mackay was taken, and Sentinel lay in a similar state. Provisional governors rule both cities now.
Так, ну ладно, я думаю, давайте
I'll be
закончим с ним.
back. If you're not here, thanks for everything. And good luck.
Just find your Go on.
What can I do for you, Cyrus?
Да, тут много... Так, ой, знаете, что я хотел? Туда подняться, что там? Ничего, понятно.
Come down from there. Excuse me, owners only behind the bar.
Понятно, понятно. Ладно. Уходим. Карта, нам нужна карта. Я не понимаю, что, куда идти вообще. Где эту карту, я тоже не понял, где ее взять. Так, ну ладно, что мы можем в магазине-то взять? Я думаю, из предметов что-нибудь приобрести. Там, получается, лопата, перо. Факел, ну, что-то типа того. С этим как поговорить? Коснитесь его. Ну, я коснулся его столько раз. Мечом, что ли?
He looks a little preoccupied.
Фигня. Непонятно ничего. Ну ладно, в магазин, наверное, позже. Так, а это что за чубрик? Наверное, мы его расспрашивали уже. Так, обсерватория. Вот это вот мне интересно, где это вообще находится. О, стражник застрял. Лошара. Помочь тебе? Может быть, сюда идти надо? Потому что это единственная дорога, что куда-то ведет. Вот, наверное, по ней надо идти. Не потеряться бы. Это будет потом проблема найти дорогу назад. Да, без карт тут, конечно. Фиг че найдешь. По ходу дела. Струсом Кай. Так. Не, тут... О, чубрик какой-то ходит. Пират, наверное, какой-нибудь. Сейчас нападет на нас. По-любому. Ну да. Черт.
Oh, so sorry, but I need your coin, so you must die.
Нет, я бегу. Я не умею еще драться. Так, надо быстро... Это... Сохраниться. То сейчас сдохну еще. Так, а я сохранился, все? Точно? Да. Ну, теперь можно и подраться попробовать. Делаем. А, вот он.
You can use that, can't you? What? The prey in his paws are soon parted, my friend.
Фиг поймешь, как тут драться.
Just die easy. What? I'm so sorry. The prey in his paws are soon parted. What?
Я его убил? Да ладно.
A map, Stros Macau.
О, это карта. Ну-ка. А, это карта сокровищ. Ну все же, у нас что-то есть. Карта. Хоть такая, она пойдет. Где эта обсерватория, я так и не понял. Да уж, фиг поймешь. Вот эта дорога. А, я не могу. А, вот вижу что-то. Блин, жалко, тут курсора нет. Получается, вот эта речка, возле речки что-то стоит. Вот нам туда. Больше нет у него ничего? Назад. Ну, теперь у нас есть карта. Это хорошо. Так, не то я хотел. Подожди. Вот.
It's my trusty saber.
Блин. Как использовать?
It's my trusty saber.
Ну, я хочу ее использовать. Хотя в баню туда. А, вот. Все. Понял. Ну, хоть такая карта теперь есть. А то никакой вообще. Или зелье купить. Наверное, надо зелье купить. А то убьют нас так нафиг когда-нибудь. А как восстанавливать здоровье, я больше не знаю, как тут. Наверное, только вот этими зельями или типа того. По ходу дела. Так, ну вот.
A map, Stros Macau.
Подожди. Вот. А, это показывается, где мы. Получается, мне надо повернуть и идти так. Там что-то есть. Это какая-то статуя.
A map.
Да, это наше положение, но, блин, а где? Куда идти? Какая обсерватория? Фигня какая-то. Хотя сказали, она за городом находится, я что-то не понял. Ну ладно. Разберемся потом. Ну теперь мы хоть раздобыли карту, и это меня не может не радовать. Вот теперь я вижу положение свое на этом острове. Ну сейчас я тогда думаю расспросим не капитана вот этого. Чубрик, это, наверное, капитан какой-то. С кем мы приплыли сюда. Ну что-то было про него.
Hello again, Captain Brennan.
Может быть, он что-то знает.
Ah, the valiant swordsman returns. How can I help you?
Изару, Лига, Стресенкай. А, ничего.
Thanks. We'll talk later.
Мы не можем. То есть все это я уже спрашивал. Чё нового не появилось. Хорошо. Сейчас тогда его расспросим.
Cyrus! Cyrus!
Может было не повторить.
Kataro, hello.
Hello yourself, Cyrus.
Так. Работа. Подрядчик. Размещение. Лига.
What do you know about a group of
Пойдем
ruffians
по
calling
порядку.
themselves the Restless League?
Damn them and their bloody-minded ways. They've done more to ruin Stros Makai than the Four Bears and Empire combined. Hey, if it weren't for them, this city would have been at peace months ago.
Да,
I
размещение.
haven't been in Hammerfell since before the war. How do you like being a citizen of the Empire?
Sure beats war, my young friend. I won't lie to you, though. Hard to find honest labor these days. Four Bears would rather smirk than lift, and the Crowns don't have the back for it anymore.
Короны, предки, новокороны.
Sounds like the Crowns are taking their defeat pretty hard.
Yeah, I've always stayed out of politics. Bad for business. Crown, Four Bear, I don't care. As long as their coin is true. My philosophy is, what's done is done. Live and let live. The grass is always greener, you know?
I guess the Four Bears are still savoring victory in the Civil War, eh?
Yeah, you could say that, although you might not want to say it in their faces. They're a touchy lot these days.
Так, предки раздражены.
I've been up north for years, but I was pretty sure the Four Bears won the war.
Of course they did. And the Four Bears like to bust up the Dragon Tail just in case anyone doubts it. Some ungenerous crowns like to point out the Imperial flags flying all over the palace and the Imperial soldiers patrolling the streets. None of my concern, though, haha, you know what I mean?
Подрядчик.
You call yourself a contractor. What does that mean?
Over here we have someone who needs something done. Over there we have someone who's looking for work. How do they find each other? That's where I come in.
Ладно, я думаю, на этом мы и закончим.
We'll talk later.
Тогда в следующий раз мы его и расспросим. Да, я думал, что тут диалогов, конечно, намного меньше будет. Что-то я прям даже растерялся, честно говоря. Со всем этим, что делать, куда идти, с кем болтать, блин, это капец. И тут в прохождении написано, с кем нужно говорить, но в какой последовательности здесь вообще об этом ничего не сказано. То есть, типа, догадайся сам. В принципе, это намного интересней, но я не знаю, растягивает ли это вообще все удовольствие. Может быть, где-то посмотреть другое прохождение какое-нибудь, чтобы все это побыстрее было. Ну, фиг его знает, посмотрим.
Lad?
Посмотрим. Сейчас, наверное, вот надо разобраться, как и что вообще, куда идти, что купить, потому что вот у нас 50% здоровья, половина, и я фиг узнает, как что лечиться. Наверное, придется пойти покупать какие-то микстуры, чтобы лечиться. Скорее всего, да. Ну ладно, на этом все. С вами закончим. И уже в следующей серии, я думаю, хоть куда-то мы продвинемся, наверное. Может быть. Фиг его знает. Ну, тут, блин, балаболить со всеми, это долгая история. Слишком. Но все равно это уже же адвенчурка здесь, и весь геймплей, наверное, на этом вообще и построен. Ходить и со всеми болтать, по ходу дела. Ну ладно, на этом все. Спасибо вам за просмотр, и давайте до следующей серии.